So hi everybody, I'm trying to continue the last video, and we left at the point where we were discussing that emotions have a direct effect on our physical body. Now the other aspect that we need to understand is that about the Atma Buddhi Manasa, as I explained to you earlier, the higher triad and the lower quaternary, is that it is the higher triad which goes from birth to birth, and it is the permanent self in us. In Theosophy, it's called individuality, and the lower quaternary is called the personality. It is that which lives for a shorter time, and it has a definite end, and it's only the best in that, the highest thoughts, the highest capabilities and skills, which is transferred to the higher triad. The rest of it all stays as germs, and if we have the negatives stay as germs, the positives also stay as abilities in the higher triad, but the negatives stay as germs in another level. And when we take rebirths, we have to face all the negatives, and that is our karma. Okay, that's how karma operates, but that is another point. Now we were discussing about emotions, and we need to understand one more thing about emotions, is that when we have an emotion, okay, we feed it into our emotional body, it stays there. How does it stay there? It stays there in the form of an energy packet, which in Theosophy they call it elemental. Now, just like anything we create, okay, everything we create, firstly, we're very proud of it. We don't want to let go of it. Just like this video, we want people to appreciate it. But it has its own energy also to stay alive. It wants to stay alive. It doesn't want to disappear. So it also exerts a pressure on us. So if you're angry and you don't want to be angry in any situation, in a particular, let's say in a particular situation, yet you can sense it coming. And when you sense it coming, you immediately blame the 10 other people who are not responsible for that anger. It's only you who are responsible for it, because you didn't kill it completely, or you haven't learned how to handle it when it comes. So you have to find a way to reduce it. So it's very similar to our things that we do when we want to change something about us. Like, let's say we want to change our dietary habits, and we decide we shouldn't have anything after a certain point in the evening, but we are addicted to a late night snack, and the time comes and you want to have that late night snack. You see that if you do not exert control over that, and you don't succumb to that desire, the first day you do that, the second day you do that, the third day, the amount of desire you have towards that is reduced, the pull towards that is reduced. So that is exactly how you deal with emotions also. If you're aware of it, don't repress it, but do not act on it. Watch it, but don't build on it. Okay, its power reduces. It's the amount you feed into it, the amount of strengthening you do with your mind with it, that really affects it, that really strengthens it. So that's how it is with all emotions. If you want to go to the net and look at the number of negative emotions we have, you'll be astonished. There are so many terminology for this. For example, I have with me here a list of negative and positive emotions, and I'm going to just read one of them. For example, it says, like, for example, you say the emotion of anger. So let's say one of these emotions that I'd like to read out to you is about anger. Now it says high, the higher, when it's more intense: furious, enraged, outraged, aggravated, irate, seething. At medium, it's upset, mad, annoyed, frustrated, agitated, hot, disgusted. At mild, it is perturbed, uptight, dismayed, put out, irritated, touchy. So now you realize one thing, that there's no one who can escape from this. Like, every single one of us, the most brilliant amongst us, any one of us, the most talented, will have any one of these ranges of emotions in them. So it's not like we've conquered it. I mean, unless you're a Mahatma, and none of us are in touch with such Mahatmas who have conquered these emotions. We've read their books, we've heard what they say. For example, Socrates says something which is beautiful and relevant to this whole exercise: the unexamined life is not worth living. So this is exactly what we're talking about: examining your emotions, the deep-seated ones, how they affect your lives, how they affect your decisions, and how it's important to resolve each and every emotion of yours. Retain the good ones, remove the bad ones. And just like everything else in life, There is the positive and the negative, the yin and the yang, the high and the low. So we've discussed this in our bodies also. There's this higher mind and then there's a lower mind. So there are these positive side of our emotions and our negative side of our emotions. Even in our body, there is the upper half, which we always, like our mind and our heart, or things when we operate from there and we take decisions from that, from something there, we feel much better than when we decide on the basis of our lower part of our body. So it has, these are the sides to our all our body, and it will help us if we focus our mind. And our mind is the only thing which can really work perfectly to control all of these things, much more than any medication, any system of alternate healing, any kind of any other thing. If you can get your mind under your control, which is extremely tough, for which we do all kinds of techniques. Meditation is one of them, which is calming and slowing down your mind, to many other techniques we use to perfect this way of working of our mind. Start using our mind to control our emotions, identify them, resolve them, heal them, and get them out of at least the functionality of your life. Okay, you know what they are, but they do not anymore, they are no more a part of you. Just like you know what is cancer outside, but that cancerous lump is not inside you. So every single negative emotion is a cancerous lump there, and don't live with it, just as you wouldn't live with a lump in your body. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.